Hello, I'm Nina, and this is Strawberry. Welcome to the next episode of Eat, Sleep, Ride's podcasts.
Oh,
Um,
don't like when.
we are in our yard. We are in the middle of our stables. We have stables that way. And for this episode, we've decided to allow Strawberry to come and say hello to me and Dani.
So I'm Dani. Today we're going to be talking about how would we reimagine ESR if it was elsewhere.
Hi, my name is Iona and I'm a volunteer here at Eat, Sleep, Ride. Well, I first started coming to Eat, Sleep, Ride because I hated school and I hated talking to people. I was very anxious and had very low confidence, and I came to Eat, Sleep, Ride from school. From being at Eat, Sleep, Ride, I've now got the opportunity to join the army, do something with horses or animal care because of all the qualifications I've gained here. They just make me feel happy. Like, I stopped coming for a couple months to Eat, Sleep, Ride, and then those were like the worst months of my life, basically. Like, I got kicked out and everything. And then once I came back here, it's like everything settled down and I was actually okay again. I just didn't do anything. So like here, you're doing something, you're busy. You're always looking forward to the next week when you come to Eat, Sleep, Ride, and then the horses are here, so you've got that in mind. This is Strawberry, and she's great because she's a very affectionate pony and she just loves to cuddle and she's very sweet. She taught me to be like kind and affectionate. She came to Eat, Sleep, Ride from the Isle of Bute with another pony that they were like bonded together. She came feral and she came to be saddled basically. But when she first started getting saddled, she was like really difficult to ride. But that's because a piece of another horse's hoof is stuck in her back leg. And they had to get that out of her. And then once they did, she was like good to be ridden and all that. And then she was actually sweet. When she first came, no chance getting near her. I think just being with all the horses, because they're so different and you learn something different from all of them. Like, they teach you different things about yourself, like to be patient and calm. I feel like I'm just more affectionate now. You know what I mean? Like people more, I guess.
So, Dani, if you were to start Eat, Sleep, Ride again, somewhere else in the country, how would you start it?
Well, I think there's so much that I would have learned from the first time. You know, ESR started as a vision to make equestrianism accessible. And then that was to take it out into people that didn't fit under equestrianism, so that elitist bracket of, we have a horse, we ride our horse, we do this with our horse. So for me, it was always about teaching the legacy of the horse and where they've came from and how they've supported me, you, countless others to get where we are in our life. What I definitely would have done differently is not have, I think, manage my neurodiversity much earlier on. We both know with having ADHD.
Yes.
And the overwhelm and just the challenges of not being able to regulate and the difficulty in trying to manage multiple pots, but having the skills and the, I suppose, acumen to have conversations with the people that might have made it easier to, one, have found funding, two, to have had enough investment behind us before an impulsive decision was made to take on a landfill site and build a riding school. I think if I was to reimagine where we are now, the biggest thing for me would be to understand the community and what they, or what that community, or what horses mean to that community. So I've got a baseline of what am I going into? Who are the sort of people that might access the services? What does the community or the land or the area think about horses? So I've got some understanding or some sort of hook or catch to start those conversations. So it helps kind of put structure in place for my neurodiversity, and also recognising the key members around me that are going to support me to do that. I mean, you know yourself, you followed this journey. I started this off as a BHS stage 4 coach that was very teaching.
Yeah.
And then through this journey went and did my trauma-informed training, my equine facilitated learning, my leadership training, my principles in team leading. And I think it's taken, and for me, it's really beautiful that I've been able to show you a different way with horses now. But I think when I started with horses, it wasn't that. There wasn't even that type of opportunity. It was do your exams to get your qualifications. And I remember things like, what are these different types of bits you would put in horses' mouths if you needed to control them? So everything was about what would we do to make the horse conform?
Yeah.
As a lot of the training, it was all sort of pass or base, pass or fail base.
So are you saying that if you were to start Eat, Sleep, Ride again in a different place in the country, you would start it with the knowledge that you have now?
Yeah, 100%. And I would start from a different point of view. And I think the one thing, when I look at you, the fact that you went off and did your master's in training so young, you were given a different understanding of what horses could really mean. Yeah. And how you could connect with them, and that just wasn't available,
So with the knowledge that a horse isn't a machine, it's not something to be ridden and worked on, but that learning to understand them as they are, isn't that right, Strawberry?
Yeah,
Isn't that right?
I suppose that changing the commercialness that we use horses for, because again, I go on about this a lot, but people will say, I don't like horses because I'm scared of them. I mean, that's generally something inside a person, but even challenges we've had of like riding horses out on the roads and people going, oh, I don't like horses on the roads. But, years ago, horses would go out and be ridden and then people would come out with their shovels and they'd pick up the poo and they'd put it in their garden. So the community was much more ingrained in what a horse was. And I think we Eat, Sleep, Ride have been able to, through case studies and interactions, I know you, young girls and boys, going out there and flying this flag for horses, but what it's really shown is, I mean, yourself, the amount of people that have come through this site. We had a young gentleman that worked for us for years, and he's now a jiu-jitsu instructor, nothing to do with horses, didn't ever ride a horse, was not the point in it. And I think when I started, I came from it with, I'm a horse riding instructor. I'm going to teach people about horses, but now the learning I have is the amount of people that are involved in Eat, Sleep, Rides. You don't need a bunch of people that are horsey. You just need a bunch of people that are willing to listen.
Yeah.
And actually understand the needs of the community. Hey, Strawberry, you're trying to get out too. So I think, again, going back to it, it's definitely, the learning I have now is definitely showing me how we can have interactions with a horse and then how we can interact with the communities in which ESR could be, or if we were to reimagine it somewhere else. And I think things like the hybrid coaching model, the different coaches that we have that come into Eat, Sleep, Ride, because essentially we're all working on the same thing. It's about trying to make people feel better about themselves, be confident, feel empowered. And that doesn't just take a bunch of horse people. When we do our engagements, it's sometimes harder with horse people.
Yes.
Because I remember when I was when I was in North Carolina, and we were doing an engagement for KPI, and the lady has come and she went, oh, my name's Laura and I have a horse. And I said, so am I working with Laura today or am I working with Laura who has a horse? Because it's really difficult then, because it's almost like when you give someone a rope, you can tell when someone micromanages their life. They kind of use it as this thing, because it's this control mechanism, isn't it? And it's kind of what we're governed to believe as well.
Yeah, so is it, what I'm hearing there is like when you give them the rope, they take that as this is my control. It's a steering wheel of the car.
Yeah, exactly.
But actually that is the connection between your hand and the horse.
Yeah, exactly.
That is that thread of connection, not a control mechanism.
And actually you've just kind of hit that nail on the head. It's creating those threads of connection, but it's also recognising what needs to be, what is going on in these places where we need to start first to create the connection, because that's how you gain the community. So,
Dani, what are the key pillars or principles that you would want me to have if I was to go away and try and recreate my own Eat, Sleep, Ride?
That's a great question. So, I mean, looking at you and our connection and all these young people that are around us, for me, youth empowerment is key. So actually understanding young people or caring enough about them to want to make it a better world for them. I kind of think our age group, my age group, even though we're slightly more conscious, we kind of mess things up for young people. And I think it's been proven that young people are more socially, politically and environmentally conscious than they ever were. And they want a better life, you know, and I want young people to have a future because I genuinely believe that I'm not sure we can change the system. We can all do our bit, but I think it's for young people to stand up and make that change. And I think you need to be invested in youth. That's so critical to Eat, Sleep, Ride. If you don't, you know, I hear people say to me, oh, those kids that mess around in the park. And it's like, but those kids that are messing around, what is it that's lacking? And that takes me on to my next principle is community. Like, you have to care about community or be curious enough to understand what other communities are so you can bring them together. Because without that, you can't actually you can't empower young people because you've got no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So for me, environmentally, you know here that we're so environmentally conscious, and you know that's ramped up as things like climate change have become more apparent, things like climate mitigation strategies are in place. Nature has all the answers. It's a bit like that thing, you know, when someone says, oh, where there's a nettle, there's a dock.
Yes.
You know, we need bees for oxygen. Like, nature has all the answers we need. And horses are in an environment of nature. So if you don't care about nature or the materials you're using or the things that you're doing, you can't follow that principle of environmental stewardship. Thereby, if you can't pass that on to young people who can take control and actually become part of their communities. And I think in terms of values, you know, remember when we did our values, I don't know if you remember, we did that, it was years ago, that we were trying to work out what the values of Eat, Sleep, Ride were, and we did like a big volunteer night. I think actually your mum was on it, sweetheart.
Yeah.
She would have been really young. But we asked everybody, it was about 30 people on this call. We did like a social impact measurement call, and we wanted to understand what people thought Eat, Sleep, Ride was. And the words that came up were respect. So respect self, others, environment, horses. Educate, you know, don't just say to someone, go and do that thing. Tell the person, watch her for a second. Tell the person why you're going to do that thing. And that creates that psychological safety that we were talking about. Don't tell someone they're safe when they don't feel safe. Don't give someone an instruction without...
So explain to them why you have to say it's, if we ask someone to fill up a bag of hay, explain to them why they have to fill that bag of hay, what it does to us.
Exactly.
So explaining, not just telling people.
Exactly. So you empower people with that education, or you empower people with that information. So they're therefore able to either ask questions or to be, I suppose, curious or be inspired to do something different. I mean, they might go, God, I love the smell of hay. I might want to go and work in a farm. You never know if you don't explain these things to people. So it's respect, educate, inspire.
I like that one.
Yeah, we love inspire. I think, how many people have you seen come through here that have been inspired to do things that are nothing to do with horses, but they've gained social skills, confidence, the ability to leave their homes, their ability to take charge of a, 500 kilogram animal, the ability to turn up when it's storms and roofs are flying off.
Bit of resilience.
That resilience, yeah. Because actually we need to build resilience so we can be inspired to get our houses and do more. And then we've got nurture.
Yeah.
And nurture is, well, each other, the horses.
Yeah.
Because you're working with an animal that just is empathetic. It has no other reason to kind of hang out with you. It wants you to just be kind. And think of how many times we hear people say, oh, that person's this or that person's that. You never really know what's going on in someone's life. So you can't nurture something or anything if you're not aware of that principle.
So we're having that bit of understanding for people and why they might
and
be
where they're
certain
at.
ways.
Yeah.
Where they're at in their life. The things that they don't tell you.
Yep. And that's something we've had to work on.
We have.
We know I get hangry.
Yes.
You get hangry too.
I think most people do.
Get hangry, yeah. I think most people do. And then the last one was support. And I think it's that's supporting one another, and that brings in the community aspect. So when we actually then looked at the values we'd written, it spelled out the words range.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Reins.
Yeah.
Hold the rope.
Oh, hello, strawberry.
She's just itching on the door.
Are you itchy? It's a very hot day today, isn't it? So they, for me, with it happening organically, because they were the words that were coming from people, that's what you need for an ESR to thrive. Because if you can't, things like if you're not inspired to do more, you're not going to bring in different teachings. You're not going to bring in different people, are you?
Yes.
If you don't nurture the not even just so much the horses, but you know how I'm about tidiness.
Yeah. So would you mind breaking that down into a few key points?
Yeah.
So summarize that into a couple words.
Yeah. So I think.
So we had
respect, educate, inspire, nurture, support. So I think, firstly, we have to. You can't nurture something if you don't respect it, and that includes yourself.
Yes.
Yeah? You can't support a range of people if you're not inspired to do anything else. And you can't educate people if you don't want to support others, or you don't want to inspire people. The point of education is to, for many, I think, is to inspire people to do something different. For me, it's not just a pass or a fail system. And that's what Eat, Sleep, Ride can never be. It's not you come here and you did really well on that horse, or you didn't do well today. That's not what it's about. Every interaction is unique and it's different, because every day changes for a horse, for a person, the environment, and it's recognising the uniqueness. And I suppose the ability to adapt, the ability to have to shift.
Yeah.
Again, like you were talking about the horses, like they might come in from the fields and there might be a terrible storm or something might be happening. They're able to shift perspectives and move. You've got to be able to do that to keep up.
Be able to grow in yourself to help others grow.
Yeah, that's a lovely way of
Instead
putting
of
it.
saying, I've got to this point, let's get you here.
Yeah.
But you keep growing, keep learning, keep listening
Is that
to
what
other
you're
people.
telling us?
Is that what you're saying,
Is that
Strauss?
what you're telling us? Because there's no, I don't want to die not knowing. I can't imagine a life that's worse than that. I want to know everything. And that allows me every day to get up and keep doing this, because every day I want to bring more and more. And every day I want to take that and I want to share those learnings, which then falls into those values.
Hi, my name is Ava and I work at Eat, Sleep, Ride. I came here when I was a kid and then to ride, but that was at the old yard. And then I came here because my mum found out that you can volunteer. So I came to volunteer, and then I volunteered for a couple of years, and then I got asked to work here. The day that I got asked to work here, I felt really happy about it because I get to do what I love. I love when you get to see all the horses and what they bring when you're happy and that, because you get to see all the new people that come to riding. I've got Pirate. He came to us because his owner died. Our husband has dementia, so he couldn't take care of us, and he came with Bandit and Fig. Well, he's nice, but he doesn't like people going in his stables sometimes. He likes all the horses because his favourite ones are Bandit and Fig because they first came with each other. Well, when I'm around the horses, it makes me feel really happy because it's just all the new things that you get to learn that you've never heard about before. You just find out new things every day. Like, I never knew how to tack up when I first came, and now I know how to tack up and ride all by myself. So if Eat, Sleep, Ride never existed, I would be really sad about it because I wouldn't get to see Pirate or any of the other horses or any of the other people.
So, Dani, how does it make you personally feel to be able to do this as your job, to have the knowledge, the understanding, the emotional connection? How does that make you feel?
Every day I get up, I just feel so humbled that these creatures, horses, allow me to be in their space. And these people allow me to even impart a little bit of knowledge, whatever that may look like, or to even want to listen to me. I'm not probably the best employee. Part of that's my ADHD, I think, and just not really understanding myself. I think we both know that about each other. But I think in this context, I think I can't I can't get up every day and not do something that matters. I just don't have it in me. Like, I can't leave this earth doing something for no reason. It just isn't who I'm about. And if you psychologically analyse that, maybe that comes from a deep-rooted, challenging, systematic system. But that's, for me, that's my greatest purpose. And these, oh, it makes me sad, these horses, I suppose, give me that purpose. Why have you made me be all emotional? I know, but then you're going into what you want.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just talked about it.
What I want, so you're going to ask me the same thing, and I'd like to have Strawberry there.
Why not get up and see her? Why's she got to come to you?
Because I'm meant to sit here, and that's why. You're beautiful. Do you want to come sit with me? Yeah? Yeah? Just for this.
You know,
just for this.
it's interesting.
I'll scratch you after.
And I suppose you probably think the same, like, horses saved my life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would probably have 10 kids and, you know, be a systematic drug user living in a council estate without them. So every day means something. Go. Why do you think? Why are you privileged to? Where do you start?
I feel like doing this job is the best job I could ever imagine. For myself, for others, I get no one's the same.
But why?
Because to have these horses, to me, personally, for me, it's all about the horses. And I love bringing people into that and showing them why it's all about the horses. But to me, it's all about them.
But
And
why are they so important?
It's like having your own family, you know? Like, when I come onto this yard, I don't see the horses, I don't see them as, oh, it's this horse, it's this colour. You see them as who they are, as you'd see a friend. You see them for their personality, for their traits, for what they are. And I couldn't imagine a better job than getting to come in and to be with the horses and to know that I know them and they know me, and to have that family, have that trust, and to know that I'm doing the best for them. To know that I'm giving Strawberry here the best life that she could ever deserve. And I can only ever do better for her. That's one thing that pushes me to keep learning, to keep doing more, is that I can always do better for these horses. And
it's always been better, isn't it?
I absolutely love this job for that. To be able to, I feel so privileged having these horses in my life.
Yeah, that's a privilege, isn't it?
Thank you so much again for listening to another episode for Eat Sleep Ride's podcast.
And we hope you join us again soon. At Eat Sleep Ride, Join the Herd isn't just an invitation. It's a call to become part of something truly transformative. By joining us, you step into a community where everyone belongs. When neurodivergent young people, families, volunteers, and supporters come together in shared leadership and connection, inspired by the wisdom of the horses. Whether you're here to learn, support, or simply be part of a welcoming space, you'll find family. A place that celebrates your unique strengths and helps you grow. From hands-on learning of our herd to inspiring stories, every role matters. Together, we nurture not only horses, but also resilience, confidence, and meaningful connections. If you believe in empowerment through community and in leadership that is shared and authentic, then this is your herd. Get involved by volunteering, supporting our programmes, or simply spreading the word. Visit eatsleeprides.org to learn more. By Eat Sleep Ride, we don't just ride, we rise together.